I'm curious, how do you envision Bitcoin and the dollar evolving together over the next 10 years or so? Like Bitcoin is this hard, scarce money that designed arguably to go up in value, whereas the dollar is this, loose, easy money that's designed to debase against, the basic consumer goods that we all need every day.
Mhm.
How do you see that, juxtaposition?
Yeah, I think that cash will continue to be short money and that Bitcoin will be more prevalent as long money. So people who have a time preference that allows them to wait and save and be patient will benefit by using Bitcoin. And people that are engaged in activities that require instant gratification will be more involved in fiat currency. Now, how that will play in the bigger financial markets, U.S. treasuries, stock and non-government bond markets, fixed income markets, I don't know. I also wonder how it's going to play within the reserve funds of the world. The U.S. dollar is the reserve currency. But with the rise of China and the yuan and other currencies that want to compete for a role within the reserve currencies of the world, with the potential for oil to be sold and bought, denominated not in U.S. dollars but in other currencies, really may change what constitutes the world reserve currency. We may go to a basket of currencies as the world reserve currency. And if that happens, I am absolutely certain that Bitcoin will be among them and perhaps dominant among them. So these are times of great disruption as we move from the industrial age to the information age. And these kind of disruptions are going to happen, I think, more quickly than people my age like to realize, because we're just starting to grasp what this is all about. And, sometimes when you can't grasp it, you just think, well, hopefully I won't be around when this becomes ubiquitous part of our everyday life. I think that even people my age are going to live to see the day when this is a ubiquitous part of everyday life.
It is crazy how fast it is happening. I mean, Bitcoin's 15 years old and it's already, a very important global asset now. It's crazy. You mentioned earlier that Bitcoin, could be used more as a payments technology. And I know some people have talked about the de minimis rule where capital gains below a certain threshold of spending a certain amount of Bitcoin maybe that you may not have to pay capital gains on it. Is that something that could happen, sometime in the future within the US where if you are buying a coffee for Bitcoin for $5, you may not need to pay capital gains or capital losses on it? Or
It absolutely should be that way. And I'm for a higher threshold against U.S. dollars as the de minimis amount. Some people want a lower threshold. But I think it's important that that be a component of federal regulation, of the interaction of the U.S. dollar economy with the Bitcoin economy.
do you think that that can really spark Bitcoin payments for the entire industry?
Well, I hope it does, because once again, the faster and cheaper settling of transactions is going to make it'll be kind of a game changer, especially for merchants, people who are sellers, as opposed to buyers of goods and services. And so I hope it does.
Love it.
I enjoy hearing about the amazing transformations that are occurring. Every year I'm around Bitcoiners and miners and core developers, and now moving into the Web3 economy, learning more about artificial intelligence, how these things integrate with each other. The more I see the amazing world that people your age are entering, and the amazing world that I will see in my rearview mirror as I get older, it's going to be fascinating. It's just so important that these technologies be allowed to grow and be nurtured in the United States, because they are assets that thrive in freedom-loving economies, and they will allow people who are not in freedom-loving economies to enjoy a sense of freedom, to be that sovereign individual, even within a geographic area that gives one no sovereignty. So the opportunities that are provided by Bitcoin in particular, I think, for people in the world who have not been able to enjoy freedom in their lifetimes is going to be maybe the single most transformative thing for people who yearn to be free.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bitcoin is freedom money, and I feel like freedom money belongs in America.
I'm with you.
Awesome.
Amen.